Successful men break quietly at 45. The most dangerous man isn't the one who failed. It's the one who succeeded and stalled. There's no headlines announcing it. There's no collapse happening overnight. There's no pull to the side and say you're breaking. Because successful men don't break loudly. They break quietly. They keep showing up. They keep performing. They keep being reliable. And inside, sometimes things are eroding. Matter of fact, many things are eroding. Quick story. I'm sure that a lot of you may have heard of Tony Robbins. He's a famous motivational speaker. Well, in his very early days, he was called the Wonder Boy, until at one point he wasn't. What happened was the Tony that had presented himself and had become a phenomenal speaker, not as famous as he is now, but had become a phenomenal speaker, had reached a point where he needed to change, where he needed to adjust, where he needed to rebuild himself. And up until that point, he was actually on the verge of losing everything. But at some point, he realized that he needed to make an adjustment, that he needed to make a change. And that, even though it came to him before he was 45, that change is something that all of us need to understand and need to prepare for as we move forward. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Recognition. He discovered recognition. Now, for most men, around 45, something strange happens to many men. They've done, again, what they were told. They've built careers. They've provided for their families. They've earned respect. They've learned discipline. But instead of peace, they feel flat. They feel restless. They feel irritated. They feel disconnected. Not depressed enough to seek help, but broken enough to stop functioning, or just numb enough to drift. And as you guys may have heard from me before, drift is very, very dangerous. So, true cut, the reckoning. Drift. Drift feels harmless until a decade disappears. Here's the truth. Most men don't hear. Success can anesthetize you. It can make stagnation look like stability. It can disguise disengagement as maturity. It can turn survival skills into permanent ceilings. You are not failing. You're not failing. You just need to make an adjustment. What's happening is you're coasting, but you're coasting on an expired identity. Now, naming the real problem. The real problem isn't a motivation issue. It's not laziness. It's not entitlement. What it is misalignment. The man who built your life is not the man who is meant to live the next chapter. And after that realization, it terrifies most men who built their identity on competence. And the cost of avoidance is steep. When men ignore the moment that happens, here's what happens. They grow cyclical and not curious. They become numb instead of rebuilding. They chase distractions instead of direction. They call it being realistic, but it's not being realistic. It's making excuses. But realism without intention is just surrender in disguise. Rebuilding requires insight. It requires a shift in the frame. In the rebuild process, we say this clearly. You don't need to be fixed. You need to be rebuilt on truth, the reality of what's going on in front of you. This season isn't asking for more or more effort. It's asking for more honesty, more truth, more you moving forward and doing the things that you need to do. Who are you now? versus who your life was designed for. We need grounded empowerment. What's within you is greatness, and it's greater than what you're settling into. If you feel this, you're not late, you're not weak, you're not broken. You're being summoned right now. That's why you feel the way that you feel. And the quiet break is not the end. It's the knock of opportunity for you to do the next thing. Again, gentlemen, it's up to you. Moving forward in your life is a big ticket. Understanding that change is necessary in order for all of us to grow. So with that, I'm going to close and say, hey, if we can help you, please allow us to do so and reach out.